You can't ever get too much of the Holy Spirit. You can't be too spiritual. You can't be too heavenly minded to be of any earthly good. That's not a phrase that came from the Bible. That's a phrase that came from people that, again, were making fun of those fanatical Christians that just were a little bit too sanctified, or they thought they were holier than thou or whatever. No, if you're truly heavenly minded, if you're truly focused on the Lord and the Lord's will, you are of the most earthly good. You're going to stand out like a sore thumb, but that's what God... You can't be too full of the Holy Spirit. To be filled, how much room is there for anything else? There's not room. So if you're full of the Holy Spirit, you don't have room for nonsense. You don't have room for the carnality that other people that tell you to calm down. And again, preachers talk about this, and the preachers work many, many jobs over the years. If you ever get a chance, sit down and say, "Preacher, what was your first job and what did you do in the jobs after that?" It's like 20 or 30 different things. I mean, welding, drive a truck. I was a roofer. I sprayed grass in ponds. The more you listen to him, the more things he did. And he always worked really hard. And what often would happen was he'd come to a job, and he'd do the job to the best of his ability, and everyone else that wasn't working so hard didn't really like him being around because he'd make them look bad because he was working so hard. And the person that gets the most grief on a job site is not the person that's trying to sneak away and do as little as possible. The person that gets the most grief is the one that's doing as much as he can, working as hard as he can. That's also the person that's going to get the promotion, and everyone else knows that. Joseph was hated by his brothers, not because Joseph wasn't as good as them, but because he was better than the rest of them. And Dad liked him, which was a bad thing on Dad's part. That didn't help Joseph's cause, getting a special robe and all this. But Joseph earned the position that he had. He excelled at everything because he worked so hard. Same thing being led by the Spirit of God. You're going to get criticized by people that aren't being led by the Spirit of God. That's just the way it is. But being full means there's no room for anything else.